Four hosts, they bout to wreck shit like Marco. Addicted to the Giants like it's Netflix and Narcos. The CEO making big moves as per usual. Captain Negative calling everybody delusional. This podcast is number one. Like when you take a piss, so share the link and pass it. Like Benjamin making spliffs and Mr. Make-A-Wish. The sophisticated click, I spit offensive lines. Now Tim can take a sip of some beer because he likes the taste of it, right? Don't forget the New York Giants beat the Patriots twice. The sickest dudes eating chips and salsa like it's Victor Cruz. Win or lose, always gonna root for Big Blue. It's true. This a classic show. Tyree, catch it, bro. Play a drinking game while you listen and call it Plaxico. Take a couple shots. If it's funny, you can rewind to Bleed Blue. Means it's in their jeans like Levi's. Eli, man in the shit, just like a sailor. Captain, we attack and bum rush like Lawrence Taylor. Podcast on point, the sharpest arrows. BBG stay gritty like Mark Bavaro.
If we are live, up and welcome. My name is Marco. You are listening to the Bleedbigblue podcast. I have Justin on the line as we speak. Let me know if we are coming in loud and clear. I think we are. We got some people. We already got people in looking.
31 viewers.
We got. I know. I don't like the shout out that they give on the screen, but yeah, there are people here. Let's a few LFGs. Now, if you are on Facebook group, it doesn't show up as your name, so I can't really give you a shout out. If you want, jump over to YouTube or Twitter or anything else, and I can see your name. We could interact a little better. Justin, you're switching it up on me now.
Yeah, I gotta. Right. It's easier for me to hold the phone this way.
Got you. How's it been, my friend? It has been a while.
It's been good. Settling back down for the winter, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were talking about before the show, it's a little weird to be playing, I guess you could call this meaningful football in November, but we're here to tell the tale.
Right. It's meaningful football in November, Thanksgiving, with a 3-win record.
Yeah.
Never thought it could happen.
But I got to be honest, the 3 wins is also, to quote Bill Parcells, obviously your record is what you say. You are what your record says you are.
Correct.
Right? But 3 wins, the first Philly game, if any one of those 3 plays on the last 2 drives that Philly had the ball go the opposite way, that's a win. Yeah. That first Dallas game still upsets me to this day.
Mm-hmm.
So, that could have been a win. And, especially after seeing, I'll just put it this way. If we were lucky enough to win the division and the Tampa Bay Bucks were on our schedule, I wouldn't be quaking in fear, especially after what we saw from them on Monday. I think they can be had, and I think Joe Judge would relish the opportunity for a second take. You know what I mean?
So in the beginning of the season, I predicted that the Giants would once again have 5 wins. I thought it was my final number. I was going between 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Then the first part of the season, I was like, I think multiple times I said I can't even see us getting 3 wins. Here we are at 3 wins. And you are right. Bill Parcells did say you are what your record says you are. But you know who's also 3 and 5?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, and not the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
Because they changed the name. So I'm torn between, do I want a playoff game where we're going to get beat right away and we're going to be in the middle of the pack for the draft? Or do you try to put yourself in the best position going forward?
Well, so here's the key, and I think, this is the important thing, I think, for Giants fans across the board. I think for the first time in 4 or 5 years, since Odell had the meltdown in Green Bay.
Yeah.
The team is trending in the right direction. right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, maybe down the stretch here, it's not as much about wins and losses as, are we taking steps in the right direction? Are we playing more consistently? Are we eliminating some of the errors that plagued us early in the season? All those sorts of things. I think, we get healthy next year, we make a few good draft picks, a few quality free agent signings, and I think the writing is on the wall that we certainly can be competitive in this division going forward.
Mm-hmm. So originally I was going to title this podcast, I was going to say, is Joe Judge saving Dave Gettleman's job? But middle of the week last week, that totally blew up. Columbo gets fired.
Yeah.
And that just sends a cascade of everything going in all different directions.
So let me ask you, because I know you have some connections.
Let's hold off on that for a second, because I want to get to that also. But go ahead, ask me a question.
No, I was gonna say, do you know what word Marc Columbo used to get fired?
No, I don't. Do you?
I have a guess.
You have a guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a 4-letter word, and I think it starts with one of the first 3 letters of the alphabet.
4-letter word. It starts with one of the 3. Yeah, you think that? No, I don't think it's that.
You don't think it's that?
No.
Do you think it's a word that features maternal relatives?
No, I think it's a word that rhymes with I don't I would say it's a slur against a sexual preference.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. Because that's the thing. You're thinking about it, right? And we have two gifts from the last 2 weeks where Joe Judge was visibly either telling referees or players to back the fuck up, or that they were a fucking joke. So I don't think your standard swear words are gonna throw Joe Judge off his game. It's got to be something with a little extra.
I think he's comfortable in that lane. I've seen him comfortable in that lane.
Yeah. So
number one, do you believe that there was a fight?
Do I believe there was a fist fight?
I wouldn't say fist fight. That's a little much. But do you think that maybe there was blows or pushing exchanged?
I think there was probably pushing, just because. Look, Marc Columbo's 6'8". He's a former left tackle in the NFL. There's a certain level of aggression that comes with that, right? And from what I know about Joe Judge, he's not exactly one to shy away from a little physical contact. You know what I mean? Like, do you think that if the situation escalated a certain way, that Joe Judge would necessarily back down? No. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But I just can't see grown men getting into a pushing contest or something like that.
Because I would want to know. So here's the thing. This is the other thing that no one's really reported on, is where this all took place. I don't think, listen, to your point, like, these are grown men. Joe Judge is the leader of men. I think that he probably knows that it's not in his best interest to get into physical altercation in front of his players.
Right.
But, in a meeting room, where privately, they have an exchange. Maybe things get out of hand. I tend to think that the physical fist fight is a little overblown, because I think that if something had happened, right,
like 1940s,
somebody's gonna have a black eye or a or a
Get
cut
roughed
or
up a little,
something
yeah. Mm-hmm.
that we're gonna see on video somewhere,
Yeah.
right? Because everything's on video now. So not necessarily that we would see the fight, but in a press conference you would see
Yeah, he
that
got scuffed up.
somebody was scuffed up a little bit, and we haven't seen any of that. So
No.
I don't think that that's the case, but I do think that maybe Mark crossed the line.
What do you think about the whole Twitter escalating after the fact?
You know, I don't. This is what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the offensive line was underachieving this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I would agree.
I think they were underachieving by quite a bit, and I think that it's no secret, especially if Marc Columbo is escalating things on Twitter, that he's at least looking at Twitter, and that
Right.
people are holding him responsible, right? And so, I'm sure he didn't appreciate any of this. You know what I mean? And but what I would say to that is like, if what has been reported by all the major news outlets is true that cover the Giants, and if Joe Judge was spending more time with the offensive line, and Joe Judge was the one that was pushing the offensive line, rotation, and that was what was working, I can see why Joe Judge would say, "What the fuck am I paying you for?" Like, or what the fuck is your job exactly? Let me
Mm-hmm.
bring in somebody that will do it my way. You know what I mean? It makes me wonder. What it really makes me wonder is if Columbo and Jason Garrett were a package deal.
Right now, that's so everyone being super critical of Joe Judge firing him, the whole thing, bringing in another offensive coordinator. So from what we know, from what we gathered from the multiple sources, O-line was underperforming. Everyone saw that, right? Started to improve after Joe Judge took more accountability himself, teaching the technique that he wanted to be taught a few weeks prior, and that's where the scuffle started originally, not physical scuffle. Then people saying that this was brewing a long time. Joe Judge never even wanted to bring in Columbo or Jason Garrett. That's where it blew up. So is Garrett on the proverbial hot seat? I think they fired the wrong guy. I think the guy they should have fired was been Dave Gettleman tons of weeks prior. But
sure,
that's just
and
me.
listen, here's the other very real thing. Like, up until say 4 weeks ago, Jason Garrett wasn't exactly playing well either. Or not even playing well. Jason Garrett wasn't coaching well, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was on record in a press conference saying that he was still trying to figure out what the team was good at.
Mm-hmm.
Those are clips that you don't necessarily want out there, right? Those are sound bites that maybe you say, keep those things to yourself, Jay, buddy, old pal, right? I think that probably what happened is Joe Judge came into his interview. He blew the doors off,
Mm-hmm.
and Mara or Tish or some combination of all the people that make the Giants' decisions said, "That's our guy. That's the guy that people would run through a wall for. That's the guy that'll be able to teach fundamentals." And so they wanted to bring him in, but they also knew that he didn't have any coaching experience. So they strongly suggested hire a coordinator with some coaching experience to
Mm-hmm.
sort of, hedge your bet, so to speak, if you run into something that maybe you're not 100% comfortable with or familiar with. But I think it's going to be interesting. As of right now, I feel like Joe Judge
Mm-hmm.
has taken control of this team, right? I feel like he has a firm grasp of it in terms of the players. And so, maybe he doesn't need Jason Garrett next year.
All right, one second. Yankee King says he loves the way the Giants are running this team, which is a surprise change in his opinion. Did you mean running or ruining? Please clarify in the comment section.
Was that a typo?
Yeah. Maurice Lewis, 2 weeks and we're still talking about this. I'm shaking my head. I gotta go. I haven't been on the podcast for a little bit. I'm trying to catch up. We'll get there. Hang in there. We'll get there.
Yeah, we're starting from the beginning. We have a lot to cover. So, I think, would it surprise me if Jason Garrett was not around next year? No. Is that concerning in its own way?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because it's now a
third
offense for Daniel Jones and company, right? I will say that,
but it would say a lot. Running. Oh, he corrected himself. It would say a lot if Joe Judge actually does get rid of Jason Garrett, because it shows that the ownership is in his camp.
Yeah. Which I think they are. It'll be interesting. It would really help out if Jason Garrett got another opportunity somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't.
But honestly, he's not the problem with the team.
Right. He's not the problem with the team. He's not. But I also feel like,
and his experience shows that, like, he can, he's
has he done enough
forever?
Has he done enough to earn another head coaching job? Yet to be seen. But the offense is trending in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it without their most physically talented offensive player, right? If you talk to anybody in the Giants organization,
mm-hmm.
they're whatever they were going to be this year was largely centered around number 26, right?
Yeah.
And I was having this conversation with somebody today. We were talking about, yesterday, Monday Night Football game. The Rams threw the ball 51 times against the Tampa Bay defense, right? We played them a few weeks ago. We had over 100 yards rushing with a young offensive line and Wayne Gallman and Alfred Morris, right? Two bruising running backs, but not physically overwhelming, physically talented, more so than other people. They were just running the ball by pure force of will, right? And so if they can do that with their setup now, can you only imagine what they would do if they had the supreme talent that they thought they were going to have at the start of the year? I think,
but
the offense would be running differently.
It would, but are they just better at running in between the tackles?
Maybe. And, there's something that we said, we've heard it before. Sometimes when a team's best player is injured, that's a galvanizing force, right? Everybody comes together and they play a little bit better because they rise to the occasion. Is some of that coming into play? Probably, right? This is a young, scrappy team. They feel like they have something to prove. Does that mindset change with a different mix of players?
So
maybe.
Right. Outside eyes looking in, the offense, and especially the running game, looks much better after Joe Judge took more accountability of the offensive line. Now we're here, and we're going to see going forward.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. Cincinnati, looking at the rest of the schedule, Cincinnati's, I think this is the first time this year we've been favored, I believe.
Yeah, what are we? I think we're 3.5, I saw.
Yeah, I think, at one point I saw it open at 5. Now it's around like 4, I think. 3.5, 4.
Yeah. So, I think, right, going back to what we were saying before, you're looking for reasons to be optimistic. You're looking for improvement, consistency, things of that nature. this game against the Bengals with their backup quarterback Ryan Finley, who went 3 for 10 in a quarter and a half of action against the Washington Redskins. Like, this is a game that we should not have a problem moving the ball offensively. We should also not have a problem sort of dictating some different things defensively. So we should really control this game. And that's what I'm looking for. You know, in the past, we would sort of take these opportunities, play down to the opponent, right? Play down to your competition, and really need the Giants to prove that they're better than the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday.
Gary on Facebook, it's a young team, new system, no preseason, and we are seeing the progress, and this team is headed in the right direction. I agree.
That's right. The lack of preseason is a real thing. I mean, don't misunderstand what could have been.
Where's my correct bell? Hold on.
With some extra.
Oh, there it
is. There you go. Don't undervalue what some preseason reps could have done in terms of getting some things in order and having the offense in a better place, in the early part of the season.
Yeah. So we got Joe Judge. We did Marc Columbo and his WWE style of coaching. What else did we do? A little the NFC East. We're all at three wins, right?
Yeah.
Did you break down the rest of the schedules going forward? Seems like Dallas has an easier bid through.
Yeah, I didn't. I watched a good portion of that Dallas Minnesota game on Sunday Ticket this past week.
Mm-hmm.
They played well, but they've also thrown up some stinkers.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It's hard to tell. They have
Andy's getting beat around.
They have some matchups that go in their favor. Obviously, I think that's another game. It's the last game of the season, but that's another game where I'd like to see the Giants, sort of rise to the occasion there, and maybe overcome some bugaboos.
That might be the season right there. Week
that
17.
Might be for the division.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the schedule, right? Because I've taken a look at it. Let me ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The Giants schedule.
Yeah. So we got Cincinnati on Sunday.
Yep.
I
got it pulled up. Go ahead.
With a backup quarterback. Ryan Finley was a second-round draft pick 2 years ago? Is that right?
Yeah. Are you getting to it? Is it a winnable game? I think yes.
Yeah, that's a winnable game. So that puts us at 4. So after that is Seattle.
Seattle. You know what that's going to be.
Yeah, that's in Seattle. Not feeling good about that.
No.
Right? So after that, is it Cleveland? No, it's Arizona and then Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
So Arizona with Kyler. I don't know if we can put up enough points. Right?
I don't think so.
Then it's Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. I think it could be Cleveland. I think Cleveland's a winnable game.
Yeah, because Cleveland's strength is running the football. That's the one area where the Giants' defense has proven to be above average at times this year, is stopping the run. So I like our chances there. So let's give us a W there.
So we got 2.
Right.
So we're at 5.
Right. And then the last 2 games are Baltimore.
Nah.
I don't. Here's the thing. I'll be really honest. I see a lot of Baltimore here because they're one of the AFC teams that we get in Philadelphia. I don't. They just don't have that same, uh, you know,
Jump as last year?
yeah, they don't have that same flash as last year, right? They're falling behind early in games. I think that once they fall behind, Lamar Jackson does not have the arm talent of a Kyler Murray or a Patrick Mahomes to bring them back. But with that said, to think that we would have enough to be able to take a lead over them at some point, like some things are going to have to break our way. But
So and then we got Dallas.
And then Dallas. So, Dallas.
That puts us at 6.
I think we played well enough in Dallas, a few weeks ago to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
I think at home, division rival. I'd like to see us win that game. I think that we've proven that we could. So that would put us at 6, and 4 of those wins would be in the division. So we'd be 6-10, 4-2 in the division. With, so if you sneak out one of those other 2 games, either Baltimore or I think of the games that are left, Baltimore and Arizona would be the most winnable of one of the losable games. So you'd have to win one of those 2 games, I think, to get to 7. And honestly, seeing what I see out of the division, like 6-10 might get you there. 7-9, I think if one of these teams gets 7-9, I think that wins the division. I think 7-9 wins it outright. But to your point earlier, like, do you want to be the team that wins a 7-9 division and forfeits, quality draft position to lose a playoff game? Am I the only one on the show now? Can someone say in the comments whether or not they can hear me? Please. Could somebody in the Facebook comments please let me know if you can hear me? Right now I see Gary says week 17 versus Dallas with some thinking emojis. Week 17 versus Dallas is a winnable game. Winnable football game. There he is.
I don't know what happened.
What happened?
I don't know.
Fred Willard. What happened?
What did happen?
That's a great.
Are we back live?
I was talking. I wasn't gonna let you have any dead air. I was talking through it. I don't know if anybody heard me, but I don't know if you heard what I said.
No, I didn't.
There he is.
No, we're back live. I don't know what happened.
So I think 6-10 might win the division,
Mm-hmm.
but I think 7-9 definitely does. So if you could flip either that Arizona or Baltimore game and get that to be a W, I think 7-9 get you there. But is that worth? Is the experience that this team would gain by playing a playoff game that they would probably lose worth the wins? I can tell you, if Captain Negative was here, he would say no. But I will tell you that I am so hard up for wins.
It's so hard for wins.
It just feels so good to win games, right?
Oh my God, this feels awkward. How about that?
Like 2 in a row going into a bye week. Like My wife is like, I haven't heard you bitch about the Giants in 3 weeks. I'm like, that's because we haven't lost in 3 weeks. First time in like 5 years.
And forever, yeah.
It's great. So,
all right. I think we are back online. If anyone wants to join us, I'll leave a link in the description. You don't have to come on camera. You can just voice in. It's fine.
So are we rooting for the Redskins on Thursday?
There's no such team.
I'm sorry, the Washington football team. I apologize. I'm still getting used to that.
Yeah. Are we rooting for? I think. I don't know. That's a tough one. Tie?
Let me break it down to you like this. Because my father, who is one of the reasons that I'm a Giants fan, sent me this text message today. Like this was new information to me, but he sent this to me in the middle of my workday. I'm working from home in Lancaster, Pennsylvania through the pandemic. But he says to me, if the Redskins beat the Cowboys on Thursday.
There you go, Lou. Tie.
The Giants beat the Bengals on Sunday. And the Seahawks beat the Eagles on Monday. On Tuesday morning, the Giants are in first place in the NFC East at 4-7.
So Washington beats Cowboys.
Washington
Philly
beats Dallas.
Right. What was the second one?
And then we beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, we get a win.
Take care of business.
And then the Eagles play.
The Eagles lose to Seattle.
Then we got it's plausible.
Because the Eagles would then be, because the Eagles are 3-6-1 right now. So the Eagles would be 3-7-1. The Giants would be 4-7. With the tiebreaker over the Redskins, who would also be 4-7. And the Cowboys would be 3-8.
The Giants, Washington, and Seattle, and we're in first.
Yeah. It's a crazy world, but I feel like it's I'm not going to say it's likely because I've been burned too many times, but it feels plausible. Let's put it that way.
Carlos, just finish the season and get the picks.
Yeah.
I know. But you know what? That 9-7 Seattle team, no, that 7-9 Seattle team, they got a playoff win too.
Right. They beat the Saints in beast. That was the beast mode game.
Yeah.
And look, like, obviously we want to be, the pandemic is going on and,
let's go on with that. Do you think they're going to, I'm skeptical that the season's going to finish out in normal fashion.
Yeah. I mean, think about it this way. So since this time last week, the entire Raiders defense was on COVID reserve.
Right.
And it has since been announced that the 2/3 of the Ravens' current backfield is on COVID reserve.
And they play tomorrow.
Going into a Thanksgiving game. So
they play Thursday, sorry.
Yeah. This, weather's getting colder, the numbers are up. I'd be shocked if there wasn't some more schedule manipulations.
Yeah, I know.
But, it'll be interesting because I don't know. I mean, I could see a scenario where the NFL says, wants to keep everything on schedule, right? So maybe bypasses the regular season.
Well, that's what they've been doing the whole first time, the whole first half of the season.
Right, but they're
struggling through.
They're out of bye weeks now, so they're going to have an interesting scenario where, what do? They
have that? They have that extra week that they put in there, right?
Right.
That they could still manipulate if they want to. And let's be honest, what else is going on in these stadiums?
Right, exactly. That's my point. Everybody that says, "Oh, they're going to add, that 8th playoff team in each conference and just bypass the regular season game and keep everything on schedule," is that really necessary? With everything that's going on, like the NFL could go on pause for a while, come back and finish up in the spring, and it's not like people wouldn't watch that.
I agree with you.
People want the NFL, so I think you're going to see them do everything that they can do to get as many games in as they can.
Here's a scenario that I think could actually play out. Ready? Joey's highlighting it. If we make the playoffs and we play the Bucks, that would be pretty awesome. Getting Tom Brady schooled one last time. That's well within the realm of happening.
Yeah. I mean, did you watch the Bucks game last night?
No, I caught the highlights, but I didn't watch all of them.
I mean, Tom looked pedestrian in the second half.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who looked great.
Goff?
No. And somehow had an interception with an incomplete set of hands is JPP. That guy, they moved him to outside linebacker, and that guy is playing. It's unbelievable.
Come on, man. One of the greatest seasons, that rookie year, man.
It's unbelievable. He blocked that kick against the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
He was a man-child.
He was all over the field, man.
He was unbelievable.
Damn, 4th of July went downhill after that.
Killer.
And your boy Gettleman couldn't figure out a way to keep him on the team.
Yeah.
But I think it was the right move to move on from him anyway. But
so let's talk about this because I know this is one of your favorite topics.
Yes.
All right. So let's go through it this way.
The vaccine. No.
And let's just play devil's advocate. Let's say I'll give it the best case scenario for the Giants in terms of record and playoff result. So let's say they win 7 games. Let's say they win the NFC East.
7 and they win the NFC East.
Right. They go 7-9. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, they lose in the first round to the Bucks. Right? Is Dave Gettleman back?
I don't know. I don't think he gets fired. I'll go with the retirement angle. I can't see him coming back.
I don't think. Here's the thing.
Wait, question.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on this?
I don't have any inside information.
Okay.
I wish that I did. I've worked that angle. And it's pretty much been radio silence on the other side. Because I've asked the question and the answer that I got was, let's let the season play out. However, what I'll say is, I mean, just my gut feeling. I don't know how much control Dave Gettleman has over transactions right now.
Is he more of a figurehead cap person, even though we have a cap person?
Right. I think that you bring in a guy like Joe Judge, even though he's a rookie head coach. I think a guy like Joe Judge has a plan, right? To, go about things a certain way, bring in certain types of players. My gut is just telling me that Joe Judge is involved in a lot of these decisions. And maybe, I do think you need, obviously, if the cautionary tale of Bill O'Brien has taught us anything, you need somebody in that GM spot, right?
A little separation.
Yeah, but I don't think that as long as they have Joe Judge, I don't know if they need to bring Dave Gettleman back.
I don't know. Beginning of the year, I thought he was getting fired. Even if he goes 7-9, he's still way under 500.
Right. And the other thing you have to ask yourself, I mean, forget about everything that I just said in terms of if you think that Joe Judge or someone else has control over the transactions.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, whoever it is that's controlling the transactions has still done a poor job from a talent standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's some glaring holes in terms of the talent base, right? That is Dave Gettleman's job.
Right.
Joe Judge is coaching them up and getting them to play better, play above their,
he could only do so much. And we see teams in smaller time frames totally turning around.
The Raiders,
exactly.
How good did the Raiders look Sunday against the Kansas City?
They look very good.
I tweeted at Show Me the J Money, shameless plug. I tweeted about halfway through the third quarter that the Raiders might low key have the Chiefs number. They've certainly figured out how to score on that defense and how to keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands. Patrick Mahomes is so good that it doesn't matter. But the Raiders are a good football team, and they weren't a short time ago.
Louis Baby. They missed an opportunity with Galladay. But he's a free agent at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think I said in videos prior, if they want him, get him as a free agent rather than give up very costly draft picks. And at that time, they were even better draft picks because of the position we were in. We were drafting two.
Yeah. I think that
I like Kenny Galladay. Also, I like Kenny Galladay too. So
you have to understand that for them to bring in Galladay now, they would have to forfeit very valuable draft capital.
Yeah.
And I think that the one thing that I do think pretty confidently is that the powers that be are not happy with the way that Dave G is sort of fast and loose with some draft picks. And so, to Marco's point, Galladay is a free agent. Allen Robinson is a free agent. Corey Davis is a free agent because the Titans did not pick up his fifth-year option prior to this year. I think you see a player, one of those three guys come in, and then maybe they use a second-round draft pick on a Rondale Moore out of Purdue. Cut Golden Tate, save about $10 million off the cap, and roll the dice with some new weapons. But can you imagine a wide receiver set of four? Say it was Galladay, Shepard, Slayton, and Rondale Moore. That is a
nice little package.
And a returning Saquon Barkley and Evan Ingram next year. We have Evan Ingram for one more year, right? We picked up his option before this year for next year. Is that right?
I gotta look at.
I feel like that.
I gotta double check. No, this is a contract year for him. No. Comment section, come on through.
Wasn't he drafted the same year as Peppers?
No.
He was not.
He was the Mahomes year.
Was he? Okay.
Right? The Giants won what's his name wanted to trade up, and they didn't want to trade up.
Oh yeah, McAdoo. Where's McAdoo right now? Jacksonville?
Yeah, he's a QB coach, I believe. What did you read Jordan Rannan's stirring up some controversy on the Twitters?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I've been reading a lot more Jordan because my buddy sent me a link for a subscription to The Athletic for $1 a month. And so I've been reading a lot more of Jordan's content.
Wait, Jordan Rannan's?
Or is it? Or no,
Oh.
Dan Dugan is with The Athletic.
You're right. So
yeah, I did see Jordan, though. To your point, I did see Jordan mixing it up a little bit on Twitter this afternoon. He's not afraid.
No, he's not. People are torn up about it. Like a lot of the people that create content on like YouTube and Twitter and all that, they like hurt their hearts. Just relax.
Yeah,
it's not that serious.
Look, Giants Twitter. I think you know some of my general opinions about Giants Twitter.
Right.
I'll say I love all of you that are listening and all of you that have followed us on some form of social media. But there are some days that I just look at Giants Twitter and I'm like, I need to get this off of my phone.
Yeah. How do you burn my phone?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what I would say to Jordan is like, be aware that like there are other ways to create content, and like it's not like the Giants fans are the only fan base that does it in the only sport. Like it's everywhere. It's the way of the world.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So, if this is new and shocking information to him, then
does he think it's only sports? You don't think people turn around and talk about anyone's tweets or any information and digest it and break it down? And
was he here for this whole
85 gazillion podcast, political podcast? Like,
was he here for this whole election cycle? Everything that went on?
Yeah, like it's just whatever. Jordan doesn't ruffle my feathers.
Jordan's a friend of the show, but I was surprised by the lack of awareness.
I don't think it's that bad. But
it's not that bad. I understand what he was trying to do.
Because let's be honest, there are a bunch of people that are pretending like, they got inside scoops and they're their own beat writer. I never wanted to be like, never wanted to be a beat writer. I never wanted to follow it or anything like that. I liked my lane where I'm at. Yeah. I've been doing it for a while, and you make connections.
And we know, listen, I don't want to.
And a majority of the time we have them on, which is pretty funny.
I don't want to call out anybody else that creates content in Giants Twitter. I follow some of those people just so that I'm aware of what everybody is saying, because that's what you need to do if you're going to be in this space. But I'll say this. People can say whatever they want about us, but we were at fucking LT's birthday party. I didn't see any of those other motherfuckers there.
No.
I was there, though.
This is very true. We have the video to prove it.
Yeah. So
LT like this.
Yeah. That was great. I remember so that picture that you just do
you have it on your phone? Send it to me. I'll put it up on the screen.
That you just mimicked. So I remember there was a huge crowd right around LT, obviously. Right. We got there. We were like the first people there because Jimmy and I were like, we're gonna get there. We don't care if we're the first. Like, this is the party that you show up to early, right? So we're like the first one in the door, right? So we get in there. We get behind the the VIP rope, right? So we're actually in the area where LT and his family are going to be. Like we're next to their little cabana or whatever you would want to call it there. And you know, we also decided that we weren't gonna drink that night, but there were drinks flowing.
Correct.
Right. And so by the time that LT got there, you know, the crowd followed him, and the crowd was so massive that I was having trouble with my wheelchair getting up close to where I needed to be able to see LT. And Jimmy's phone died. So Jimmy was like, "Give me your phone." And he goes up there with my phone and grabs that photo. But I can tell you, he was so far behind. He didn't even know. He was just like reaching my phone up in the air to try and get somewhere close. It was a madhouse around LT in that moment. That was a great shot, though.
So insane.
That was so great.
That is true.
So,
true story.
We saw there were a lot of people there that night. We spent some serious time with Marc Collins, former Giants legend Marc Collins. We spent some serious time with Chris Tucker and Curtis Martin, who were there together. And
the picture you showed me had I'm coming up with blank. Who else was?
I had the legendary dance.
that's
I had the legendary dance off with Kid from Kid and Play. I won too. Don't kid yourself.
It's all about upper shoulders.
It's the shoulder shake. just a little shimmy. That's all you need. He was intimidated by me.
My God.
He also it was amazing because on one hand he looked like a 40-year-old man, but on the other hand, you could definitely tell that it was him. Like he hadn't aged a bit. We were like, "Oh my God, it's Kid."
Yes. So Jordan takes a swipe.
All that is to say, Giants Twitter can do whatever they want to do in terms of inside scoops and content. Like we were there.
This is very true. And not for nothing, a lot of the beat writers like to lean on us anyway to help sell their books when they want to come on and stuff like that. So
exactly.
It is what it is.
We've had them all on.
It's true. You know who we haven't had on, Justin, and I'm wondering if we could arrange it. I won't say any names, but I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, I broached that topic recently. We'll see. I'll say this: it was met.
What if we do?
It was met with the most. It was the most positive response that I got to a conversation.
What if we do we give them a preloaded question list?
Yeah, I think that's what it would have to be. I know. So,
and we won't we don't have to do it live.
What I will say is this: he recently did.
I saw
Lawrence Tynes' podcast.
Yeah,
and so I think that kind of maybe, greased the wheels a little bit. Where he was like, okay, maybe this isn't all that bad. So obviously, we're not Lawrence Tynes, right? So, but with that said, I think maybe he's not as afraid of the genre. So I'm not giving up. But I definitely, when I saw that, I made sure to put a little bug in his ear. Like, remember us over here.
Excuse me.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah. So let's hope we beat the Bengals Sunday and we'll be in first place.
We would be. We would be in first. I would. I don't know when the last time we saw that was. Besides the. What was it?
You know what's crazy?
Jerry Reese, second to last year, I think.
You know what's crazy about this season? I was thinking about this season. Our quarterback is from the esteemed football powerhouse, Duke University, right?
You said football powerhouse? I'm sorry.
Yeah. And we had a Duke quarterback back in the day by the name of Dave Brown.
This is true.
And there was a Dave Brown season where like we lost 7 games in a row in the middle of the season and then won 6 to close it out. And now I'm not saying we're going to I'm not bold like Tim, who's not here to defend himself. But if you talk to Tim, Tim will say that he's not ruling out the possibility that we might win out.
Tim's a maniac.
He is a maniac. He drinks beer because he likes the taste.
There we go.
So I'm not that bold, but I will say this season has a Dave Brown 1997 feel to it. You know, it definitely feels like just like that season, there were sort of tiers or sections of it, and I feel like we're in the section where we're building momentum.
Well, this is going to be the biggest week so far for the Giants in a long time.
It's going to tell us
we're favored. We got to beat someone if they want any shot at the playoffs. This is what
it's going to be. We're either going to learn everything that we thought we knew about our team is true, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we beat the Eagles by 10 points on Sunday. And I love that here in Philly because the Philadelphia fans in my life that live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania are some of the most trying football fans in my life. I feel like they're disconnected from reality on most Sundays. But I will say, like, based on what we saw, the Giants should win this game handily. Like, it shouldn't be 1 to 2 points down to the last possession. It should be comfortable. I'm not saying we're gonna win by 35 points.
But we should have a nice.
Well, it should be comfortable, right? We should be able to do what we need to do. At the same time, if we don't do that, it's going to be the rudest wake-up call and return to earth that we've had in a while. Because I feel like everybody's riding high right now. Off 2 wins and a bye week. And that made me sad this week because I was like, how bad did it get that we're this high off 2 wins and a bye week? Like, we won Super Bowls. We were even the year that we didn't win the Super Bowl it popped up on my Facebook memories this week.
We've been beating down dogs.
We were the year that Plack shot himself. Before he shot himself, we were 10-1.
Yeah.
I wrote it popped up on my Facebook memories, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote something like, it's amazing how good 10-1 feels. And now, like, we're excited about 2 wins and a bye week. It just, it was a swift fall for this franchise. So.
All right, Justin, I think we're going to wrap it up. I have work in the morning and I have work on Thursday. Therefore, that's why we moved everything up.
Oh, little Thanksgiving Day shift.
Yeah, gotta. Every once in a while, I gotta put one in.
There you go. Well, we hope everybody, including you, Marco, stays safe and healthy.
Yes.
Please exercise necessary caution.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy whatever plans you have in place to celebrate with those that matter to you, and let's hope that Sunday brings more things to be thankful for with the New York Football Giants.
I hope so too. And I think we're gonna get there. I think. Listen, Washington, Seattle, Giants. Giants are in first place.
Yeah. Starts with Washington on Thursday.
Yep. All right.
All right.
Justin, I am out. Thank you for everyone for joining. Maybe tomorrow I might try to go. If I don't come home exhausted, we'll see.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and go Giants.
All right. Peace out, everyone.
All right.
Oh, still on. What's going on? I'm going to edit this part out. Haha. All right. Let's see.